adventure on the rope. We were upriver with a tour group looking at all the natural beauties here on the rope river when I spied a young Sasquatch hiding in the shadow of a tree near a gravel bank. I swung the tour boat around so we could get a better look, and all the tourists exclaimed and took pictures. It's not too unusual to see a Sasquatch in the spring. That's the time they migrate through here to their summer stomping grounds up north. Arizona weather. Well, some folks don't like the weather in Arizona, but I ain't one of them. The air in Arizona is so fine. Tourists stop over the state line just to fill their tires with it. Of course, Arizona does get rather fog, but since we started shipping ice from California, our hands don't lay hard for the next no more. Arkansas traveler. One rainy autumn, a traveler got lost in the mountains of Arkansas. He was tired and hungry, and so was his horse. Night was approaching. All at once, he saw a cabin. The squatter sat on the porch fiddling the same tune over and over. Even blew off swell now. One winter it was so cold that all the geese flew backward and all the fish moved south and even the snow turned blue. Late at night, it got so frigid that all spoken words froze solid before they could be heard. People had to wait until sun to find out what folks were talking about the night before. Bear Lake Monster. If you travel to Bear Lake in Utah on a quiet day, you just might catch a glimpse of the Bear Lake Monster. The monster looks like a huge brown snake and is nearly 90 feet long. It has ears that stick out from the side of its skinny head and a mouth big enough to eat a man. According to some, it has small limbs and it kind of scurries when it ventures out on land. But in the water, watch out. Bigfoot Wallace runs. The male Bigfoot Wallace, that wild and wacky Texas Ranger, returned to the wilds of frontier life once the United States won the war with Mexico, and it swept him as nothing else could do. Soon he was freighting mail 600 miles from San Antonio to El Paso, and it was the wildest stretch in the Wild West. Wallace was the only man who could do it. Anyone else who tried was scared off by attacking Comanche and Apache warriors or killed outright. Bigfoot Wallace and the Hickory Nuts. Bigfoot Wallace was as crazy an individual as they come. He could spin a yarn better than anyone, and while he was a dangerous foe to his enemies, he was also a jovial giant, who was always on the lookout for a good laugh. Fishing and fighting Comanches and avoiding rattlesnakes, Wallace had the time of his life in Texas. Said he wouldn't swap Texas for the whole shooting match that was the rest of the United States. Vernon Paul Bunyan. Now I hear tell that Paul Bunyan was born in Bangor, Maine. It took 5 giant storks to deliver Paul to his parents. His first bed was a lumber wagon pulled by a team of horses. His father had to drive the wagon up to the top of Maine and back whenever he wanted to rock the baby to sleep. Black Barthelme's ghost. Black Barthelme was an evil, surly buccaneer who murdered his wife and children and went to sea with a band of pirates as nasty as he. He roamed the Atlantic coast, murdering and pillaging and laying waste to the countryside as he passed a black dog of hanging hills. He smiled as he sipped at his coffee. It had been an excellent hike. He was glad his friend had recommended coming to the Hanging Hills in Connecticut, not the first place that had come to his mind when considering a vacation. But it was beautiful here. When his friend arrived tomorrow, they would tackle some of the more challenging terrain. Blackbeard's ghost. The nefarious pirate Blackbeard, whose real name was Edward Teach, was a tall man with a very long black beard that covered most of his face and extended down to his waist. He tied his beard up in big tails adorned with black ribbons. Bloody knife. Many a year ago, two black warriors from rival villages got into a terrible argument.